and welcome to my first book review on my channel. And today we're going to be looking at The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I really hope I'm saying his name right. I saw the movie when it first came out, and it put me off from the book. It wasn't until I read The Red Pyramid my 8th grade year of middle school that I decided to read Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Sorry. Before I go any further, I should warn everyone who has not read the book, has not seen the movies, anything, that there will be spoilers. I'm going to be going into great detail. I'm going to be ranting. I'm going to be saying all stuff. I'm going to be talking about everything. So if you have not seen anything related to Percy Jackson, you don't want to see anything more from this point on. There will be spoilers. With that being said, let's look at Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Now, Percy Jackson is about a 12-year-old boy who finds out that he's a demigod. He is the son of Poseidon, one of the big threes. The big threes are Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades. They are not allowed to procreate. They're not allowed to have children, basically, with any mortals because of what has happened. Because they are so much more powerful than the other gods that any time that they have children, it's too risky. So they're not allowed to procreate. But Percy is born anyway, and this leads to some problems for not only Percy, but his whole family. Because he sends off such a strong smell, monsters are able to find him, and monsters attack his life. But his mother was able to keep him safe by marrying, I forgot his name, but his mother marries this abusive guy because he sends off such a strong smell that it makes Percy not be able to be scented by monsters. Yeah, that's what it does. Percy finds his way to Camp Half-Blood, where he finds out that his friend Grover is a satyr. I don't know how to say his name right. And he meets Annabeth and finds out that his Greek mythology teacher, Mr. Brummer, is actually a centaur. And he finds out through the oracle that he has to go on a quest to save the world from a never-ending war. What I really liked about this book was that it was such an easy read. It's written for kids who are in middle school, and I really wish I read this when I was in middle school. But I read the Red Pyramid series, so I guess I'm not missing much. But I didn't really know much about Percy Jackson until I read this book, and I was hooked from the very beginning when he explains how if you feel there's something inside of you blossoming or something while you're reading this, to stop reading, because if you're able to see that this is fiction, then you're lucky. I really like that introduction. I absolutely adored the myths. When I was in grade school and a little bit in middle school, I would pick out books from my library about Greek mythology, about Egyptian mythology most of all, and I would love reading about the stories, about the myths, about the gods, and I absolutely adored learning about them. And I still do to this very day, and how he takes the gods and puts them into this 21st century and shows how they survive and shows. I love it. I absolutely adore it. And that's one thing that I really appreciate about this book, and I really love about Rick Riordan. And I love how Percy is a dyslexic and he has ADHD, because it shows you that even heroes can have things that we as a human race can see as a disability, and I absolutely love that he added that to it. I do not have many complaints about this book because it's a great read. It's fun. I didn't want to put the book down, and I would read it when I had time to in between classes, and I absolutely adored it. And one thing I had to complain really about in this book was Grover's character. I saw the movie before I read the book, so I was expecting Grover to be this heroic, brave satyr, but in the book he was wimpy and not really all that brave, and he was the comedic relief, and I didn't really like that. He did get annoying at times, especially when he passed out when Percy was getting attacked by the big bull thing, and he was mumbling something about food. I found that really annoying, and I didn't understand why he was put back out after what happened with him and Annabeth and Luke and Thalia. I don't know how to pronounce her name, I'm sorry. But I didn't really understand why he was put back out to find kids who are demigods when that whole disaster happened. I didn't really understand that part. but he really developed as a character, well, up until the second book when but that's another review for another day. Overall, I loved Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. I can't let what happened with Grover decide that it gets such a low score. I give it a 5 out of 5, and I would really recommend it to everyone, especially if you're in middle school. That's not all I really have to say about Percy Jackson. There's a lot more I could say and a lot more I could complain about, but it would become a really long video if I did that. So that's all I have to say about Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if I couldn't pronounce anything. I can't speak at all. I'm so sorry. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next future video. See ya.